Most of the advice you hear on becoming a professional ballet dancer is incomplete. It's not wrong, it's just not everything you need to know. And I myself even did a video on here about a decade ago telling you my tips for becoming a professional dancer. And while those are all correct, I have now lived another decade, so I know exactly what it takes. So if you are interested in becoming a professional in this business, and that's the key word here, here are 12 things you should start to think about. Number one, your body is your instrument, not your identity. I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back. Your body is your instrument, not your identity. You will be told, sometimes very explicitly, that your body is you, that it defines you. But this is not the case. Your body is your instrument through which you express your art form. Think about a violinist. They have their violin. That is their instrument. That's what they use to express and to create art. They have to take care of the violin. They have to package it well. They have to fine tune it. They have to make sure that instrument is at its peak form. But that instrument is not their identity. Them playing the instrument is what they're doing. It's their art form. It's them, not the instrument, that creates the beauty. So while your body is still part of you, it's not your whole identity. It's your instrument. You have to take care of it. You have to fine tune it. You have to think of ballet, especially as a career, as a lifestyle. But your body is not your worth. You yourself are worthy just by being you. And this is going to get thrown in your face time and time again as a dancer. There's always going to be something we don't like about our body. Looking in the mirror, or the artistic staff is going to have something to say. But I want you to actually think of your body as your violin. It doesn't define you. It's what you use to create your art, but it's not your worth. Number two, you must become a student not just of technique, but of artistry. The dancers that progress the most and that have the most fulfilling careers and that really, really succeed never stop learning in both areas. It's not just about the pirouettes, how many pirouettes you can do. It's how you can do them. How you get in the step and how you get out of the step is just as important as the step itself. And those dancers that really push their artistry and technique are going to have the most fulfilling careers. But you can't ever get stagnant in terms of learning. I see it all the time, the dancers that think, well, I've made it, so I'm just gonna take class and I can do my own thing. That's not gonna help progress you. That's not gonna help you get promoted. That's not gonna help you achieve more and more things in your career. You have to always be learning and always be receptive to critique and feedback. The dancers I have watched have the longest careers also were the most interesting. It's not just, again, about throwing out some steps on the stage and calling it a day. The audience wants to connect with you. The audience wants to feel something. That's why they go to the ballet. That's what makes ballet an art form. So remember, we're always learning, but we always have to be learning in both areas. Number three, this is a truth you need to learn now. You will always be compared, but you need to personally learn to make it irrelevant. What do I mean by that? From the moment you walk in the door of a professional company, from day one, you're going to be compared to everybody around you. Not just in number of pirouettes, but who's shorter than whom, who's taller than who has more artistry, who can I put in this role, who would do a better job at delivering. You will constantly be compared to your colleagues, to the dancer that had the role before you, the role after you, and to yourself. You know, last year she did this role really well, but this year I'm sort of seeing this. You're going to even be compared to yourself over time. But you have to learn psychologically to just tune out the noise. The dancers that struggle really internalize these comparisons and determine their worth by it. Oh, she thought I was bad in this and like you can really psych yourself out to the point of making yourself ill if you internalize all the comparison, all the crazy feedback compared to everybody else. The ones who thrive are the ones who receive the feedback, even if it's not good, take what's useful and release the rest. Don't internalize it and let it hold you back. Number four, the ballet world is very small. You need to remember that this is a very, very tight business. And those of us who are in the business, kind of, it's like one of those things, it's like, I know you, but even if I've never met you, I know you. Things are very, very tight in the ballet world. The people you train with, the directors you dance under, the colleagues you work with. These relationships will follow you through your entire career in ways that you cannot even predict. Just last week, I saw Robbie Fairchild and Gina Paskogan for the first time in probably a decade, and it was like we just picked up where we left off. It was lovely to see both of them. I was watching them in rehearsal. So you never know how you're going to be interacting with people. Another example, David Protus and I, who were at City Ballet together, we've known each other from the time we were 16. Now he teaches with me. We both had moved to California. So you really can't predict how this career is going to go, which is why it's really important that you be kind and professional to all of your colleagues, whether they are above you in rank or below. And in this business, reputation is a lot. Number 5, and this is something I wish somebody had taught me sooner, learn the business side of ballet even before you need to. If you're a student auditioning, you need to know things like, is the company union? Is it not union? What does the contract look like? What are your workers' rights? Because companies that have a union contract are different than companies that are non-union. Start learning these terms, start being aware of what the business side looks like. You're gonna have a lot easier time later because like we said at the beginning, this is a business. Read your contract, know what you're agreeing to, know how many weeks is it. Is it a 42-week contract? Is it a 37-week contract? What are you going to do for the other 15 weeks if it's a 37-week contract? Are you able to teach for the summer? Are you going to get gigs? Are you going to file for unemployment? As a dancer, a young student, I didn't know. I just wanted to dance and wear my tiara and be a pretty princess. But the fact of the matter is, you're trying to audition to get a spot in a company, which is eventually going to be your paying career. So you need to know a little bit more about it than just what roles you're doing. Number 6. Injuries are inevitable. I'm going to say this one again. Injuries are inevitable. It is part of the process. We have all been injured. I think if you get through an entire career without any form of injury, you need to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. Seriously, it's part of it. And this is going back to taking care of your instrument. So because injuries are inevitable, it's not getting injured that's going to ruin your career. It's how you handle the injury that could make or break your career. The dancers I watched navigate the best through injuries are the ones that treated them as information, not a catastrophe. The ones that said, okay, well, I've hurt my ankle, so I'm going to keep my upper body strong while my ankle heals, or what can I do while my ankle is healing? My second sprain, I did this, and it was so much better than the first when I thought my life was over. So use it as information. Are you training in a maybe not so healthy way in class? Are you focusing on one side more than the other? This is a big one for injuries, dancers. Make sure you're not getting lopsided. Are you only ever practicing your turns to the right? Are you only ever lifting your left leg? Even when you're doing a rep that maybe only turns to the right, make sure you're paying attention to your left side in class. So use it as information. Don't let it completely ruin your life because everybody gets injured. And use your recovery time to work on other things. Music, artistry, what can you go and see? Can you open your horizons? You're not performing every night, so can you, if you can walk, can you go to a museum? Can you go to the symphony? Can you do other things that will enrich your dancing when you come back? And make sure you are training as much as you can on the rest of your body so that when the time comes to get back in class, you just have to focus on the injury, making sure you're not going too fast, and then we're ready to go. Number 7, and this is another thing I wish people had told me. This kind of goes along with number 5. You need to have a financial plan from day one. Ballet dancers don't make a lot. Even in the top companies in the country, in the world, it's not a lot of money, especially when you're starting out as the low man on the totem pole, an apprentice or a second company. You maybe will get a stipend. So you need to have a financial plan. That's why I said, look at that contract. How many weeks is it? What are you going to do in the other weeks? Can you teach? Can you guest? Can you have a second job in your time off? If you have a financial plan going in, life's going to be a lot easier later. Can you room with someone for a while to save money? Know what your stipend is. Know what rent is around you. This is a career. This is a lifestyle. It's not just about the time on stage. I think that's a big one for dancers is yes, we love being on stage. We love dancing and being in the spotlight and wearing our tiara and being in a costume, but that is probably 8% of the time. You have to think of the rest of it as being an adult, because that's what you are. Adulting is hard. So have a financial plan. Find out if your company has a retirement account. We did at New York City Ballet. Can you contribute to that retirement account every month? How much of your taxes are going to be taken out? That depends on your state. Educate yourself, dancers. I promise you, if you can figure this out at least a little bit at 17, 18, 19, you're going to be so much better off. Believe me. Shifting a little bit, number 8, find your own voice, both on and off the stage. There is this culture in the ballet world of silence, of obeying, doing what you're told, with whom you're told, when you're told, and not saying a word. And while being a professional absolutely requires you to know when to speak and when not to, and when to cater to the front of the room, it doesn't mean you have to be a doormat. Silence is not the same as professionalism. Know your worth. Be able to articulate what you can contribute. Advocate for yourself when you can, whether it's in contract negotiations, if it's in union meetings. A lot of dancers love being the union reps because the union reps get to speak for all the dancers in the union negotiations. The artists who built lasting careers aren't the ones who waited to be noticed. They were present, they were prepared, and they were ready when their moment came. Part of this is being a professional and being aware and knowing your choreography. But it's also not being afraid to be like, I know it, I got it, put me in, coach. That's going to help you out tremendously. So it's not just about standing up for yourself as a person, but also standing up for yourself as a dancer. Okay, number 9, the mental game is just as demanding as the physical one. What I didn't anticipate going into a ballet company was how much it was going to take up here, not just down here. You can't just rely on getting through the steps because there are so many factors you can't even possibly think of that are going to happen. Even little things like what cast you are, what day you are, the understudy, is it like, do you have 47 ballets to learn in a week? All the mental side of being in a ballet company, I would actually say is more exhausting than the physical side. And nobody warns you about this. You can be beyond technically prepared. You could have just done, Aurora, acts 1, 2, and 3 in ballet school. But when you get thrown in the company, the training wheels come off. And it is a world you have not ever even imagined. The psychological weight of being a professional is very real. Rejection is there. Comparison is there, like we were saying earlier, but you also have these incredible highs of being on the stage and getting to live your dream in front of people and receiving applause every night. That's the wonderful thing about ballet, is it's a live art form and you get the immediate feedback from an audience. But remember, like we said, that's 9% of the time. The rest of the time can be mental gymnastics. Because this is so hard, you feel alone. But I want you to remember you're not. You feel like nobody, like I must be crazy, I must be the only one. Everybody's going through the same thing. So support each other, reach out to each other. There is nothing like bonding together as dancers when you're all in the same boat. You're not in this alone. You're not the only one that's having to play mental gymnastics. So in dealing with this might mean working with a therapist or a psychologist or a life coach. Once again, someone outside the ballet world to keep it in perspective, to really help you navigate those tough times, because they're going to be there. The highs are going to be there and the lows are going to be there. So don't be afraid to get help and talk to someone. Take care of both your body and your mind. Number 10, this might be a little bit obvious, but treat your colleagues with genuine respect. This goes back to the dance world being very small. The company you are a part of is a community. It is not just about you. I know we get caught up in, I wanted this role and I wanted this night, It's a business. It's a company. Depending on the size, sometimes there are upwards of 50 to 100 dancers. And a ballet company and the artistic staff are doing their best to kind of see it as a whole. So like a normal job, if you worked in an office, these are your colleagues. It's exactly the same thing. Everybody wants to solo. Everybody wants to get all the roles they want. But you're still part of a community. You still have to help each other out. I cannot tell you the amount of times I would get thrown into somebody in some ballet and my colleagues would be talking me through it. I think a lot of especially with New York City Ballet being as big as it is, People were like, oh, is it dramatic? Did you have problems with people? We were so busy, we didn't have time. So for us, it was like, oh, so-and-so got thrown in, we're going to talk through it, and what can I do? And da, da, da. So, and that helped me so much, is when people would talk me through a ballet or help me through it, or I would step in for them, or they would step in for me. It's still a community. And no matter your rank, respect everyone. Whether you are at the bottom of the totem pole or the star of the company, everybody's important. Everybody has worth. So no matter what rank you are, respect it. If you're a principal, you remember being the baby core member. You remember walking in day one going, ugh. When you're a core member, respect the principals. They've been there a long time. Don't be afraid to go to them for advice. But if they also offer it to you, maybe just unprompted, take a listen. They've been there a while. They know what to expect. Rank doesn't matter in terms of respect. Respect your coaches, respect the repetitors, respect the stage crew. I cannot tell you how many people don't treat the stage crew well. And I'm like, they could drop a set on your head if you're not kind to them. Those people are in the theater 3 times as long as you are. They're setting up lighting, they're setting up sets, they're setting up sound, they're working with the orchestra. Be nice to your conductors, because they could really mess you up if you're not. Just be nice to everybody. I don't see why this is such a difficult thing, and why even I feel like I have to say it, but I do. Just be nice and be respectful and be professional of everyone. Number 11, and this is something I have said time and time and time again, be the dependable one. So many of us, particularly at New York City Ballet, got our big break by going in for somebody at the last minute injured. I can literally list in my head every single principal that ever was, and pretty much any soloist as well, at one point or another, stepped in for somebody, and that was the big break, and then their career went. Like, phew. I remember Sarah Mern stepping in. I remember Tyler Peck. I remember Taylor Stanley. I was there the day Taylor Stanley stepped in for somebody, and I think it was Opus Jazz. And everybody was like, who's this kid? Who's this kid? And it was like, that was the day Taylor Stanley came out of nowhere and became Taylor Stanley. So you have to be the one that can be thrown in. Know your choreography. I cannot stress this enough, you guys. If you are understudying, that means you could get thrown on at any point. Don't stand in the back and just chill and just hang out and chat. Take understudying seriously, because it could change your life. It really could. This helped me out. I proved I could get thrown in. So then I got thrown in for everything. Oh, put Katie on. Oh, put Katie on. That's it. Let's like the flower story we talked about in the Nutcracker thing. It's your spot, but the other side, you'll be fine. And this helps build a reputation. If you can be the one that can be depended on, because it's a business, you're going to get more and more opportunities. So I cannot stress this enough. I know it's frustrating. We have all been there. This is something we've all had to deal with, is being the understudy in the back of the room for 3 hours, standing there in your point shoes, or worse, I think, is your flat shoes, and just not doing anything. But I'm telling you, take it seriously, because it could happen like that, and your life could change. The final one, you have to know who you are beyond being a dancer. You have to have that outside life. You have to know what your morals are and your values, and have hobbies and have friends, and just view yourself as more than just the dancer in the studio. This one backfired on me so badly. I was such a bunhead while I was at City Ballet. I had never dated anybody. I had no outside friends. I had no outside interests. I had literally anything and everything to me was in that studio. And when I got ill and I had to leave the company, I literally didn't know what to do with myself. I had nothing. I felt like I had to start over. I had no identity beyond being on the stage, or being Aurora, or being Juliet, or being this and that, or what I looked like in the costume or in the leotard, or what Peter Martins was saying to me on that day, or Rosemary, our ballet mistress, was saying to me. I had nothing beyond those 4 walls. And so I had to start over. Now, of course, that led me here to YouTube. It would have been so much easier had I figured this out sooner. So you really have to know who you are. Take time outside of ballet. Have a hobby, have interests. Go find what lights you up other than ballet, because you never know. You could get an injury. You could get an illness. You could, I don't know. None of us know what life is going to throw at us. So I really encourage you to have dancing be a big part of your life, and love what you do, but it can't be your whole identity. It's just one little part. It's one part of you, and you have to have more beyond what's in the studio. I say this all the time, and it's from Lynn Goldberg, who was my life coach while I was at City Ballet. She says, you are a human being, not a human dancing. And I probably have said that 100 billion times in various videos, but she is absolutely right. You are a human being, not a human dancing. So make sure you are still developing you outside of being a dancer. So those are my 12 tips, and they are certainly different than when we were when we started this 12 years ago. Some of them are the same, but some of them are different. So let me know if this helped you. If you like videos like this, I will do more. We're kind of going back to the OG content now, getting my stride again. If you missed the video about the Nutcracker stories, I will link it in a card and below, and it's right there. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.